Can you hear this clearly? Hello, hello. Saturday see JV boys basketball here at the gym at West Fargo Cheyenne. From Wahpeton.
watching Cheyenne Mustang Media.
Ball. Welcome back to Cheyenne High School. Apologize for the audio difficulties that we had in the first half here, but I think we've got a solution that might be temporary, but hopefully it'll work out for you and you can hear us clearly on your end. So, halftime stats for the Mustangs, who are up 13 points here, 39-26 over the Huskies from Wahpeton. So, in the first half, we had Caleb Larson putting in 13 points. He was the leading scorer for the Mustangs. Evan Berg had 3. Derek Lobo with 2, Kellen Entz with 4, Caden Matson with 3, Michael Nile with 2, and Matt Gusla with 5, Xander Newton coming in with 7. So that puts 8 players for the Mustangs into the scorebook in the first half. For the Huskies, we have Blake Schaefer came in with 6, Caden Hawkert with 8, Ethan Manick with 9, Burnt, who also played in the C-Squad game, came in with 1 point, and Byer, who also played in the C-Squad game, came in with 2. So right now, Mustangs up 13 going into halftime. Good matchup today between two solid teams in the East. The Mustangs at 7-0 are leading the EDC in JV action at a record of 7-0. Wahpeton comes in with a record of 5-2. Certainly in JV action, what you're going to typically see is that there's going to be different kinds of rotations in the second half of the game, because some of these players that played in the first half may show an appearance in the varsity game as well. So we might see different numbers than we saw in the first half, and we'll get those called out for you. So joining me in the booth right now is Coach Dan Wolf. Wolf, I saw you talking over there with the coach from Wahpeton. Did you get any inside scoop on what he foresees out of the second half here?
Well, we did. We were talking more about what we might see in the varsity game coming up, but he knows here with his Huskies, the key for both groups, both JV and varsity, they're going to have to shoot the ball really well, because they just don't match up size-wise with Cheyenne in either contest. So, shooting the ball well and taking care of it and rebounding, he thought were going to be keys both for the JV and for the varsity.
And that's, of course, Coach Jeff Ralph out of Wahpeton that we were chatting with a little bit between the half here. And, if you know one thing about Jeff Ralph is at every level he's going to make sure his team is scrappy and they come out fighting. So down 13, Huskies have a little bit of work to do. Attack there on Lobo on defense. For the Mustangs, we have Trent Free playing defense up top. We have Lobo and Berg also in, as well as Entz and Xander Newton. Three-point look there by Evan Berg goes a little bit long. Rebound out to Lobo. Back to Newton, and then Berg gets it up top to set up the offense. Lobo with a little crossover, and I think they're going to catch him. He caught his toe there on the ground and got called for a travel.
Hard to get a travel past a former Mr. Basketball here, as Tanner Kretschmann is reffing the game. He's not going to let something like that slide on the game.
Tanner Kretschmann, of course, had a stellar career both in high school and college and here in eastern North Dakota, so he's known well around the area. Great rebound there by Kellen Entz, who was able to put it back in. Wahpeton looks to move the ball around the perimeter, trying to find the interior of the Mustang zone there. Had it for a moment, but kick it back out.
I think if you're one of the Wahpeton players, you just have to go to the basket. You know you're giving up the size, but to get that deep, get that close to the basket and not have a chance, and then to settle for a three-pointer, I think their coaching staff would much rather see you just go to the basket and see how that plays out, whether it's a make, a foul, a miss, but you got to just go to the basket like that instance right there.
Trent Free with the rebound, and he'll bring it up. Content with walking the ball up the floor and making sure that the Mustang offense is ready to execute. Over to Xander Newton, who looks under the inside. Entry pass was not lobbed high enough for Kellen Entz, and it'll get turned over to the Huskies.
A little bit of a lost art, that entry pass, that lob pass over the top. I think the game has changed so much to where the focus is on the perimeter game and the outside shooting and the three-pointer that I think kids don't practice those types of things the way they probably did when players like you and I maybe were on the floor.
Newton back up top to Lobo and then over to Free. Again, the entry pass is stolen by the Huskies. So once the Huskies stole it on a lob that didn't quite over the top, that one was flat and stolen right at the midsection. This is Derek Lobo going all the way down the floor. Knocked free. Good gesture there by the Husky defender to make sure that Lobo is okay. And Lobo will go to the line shooting two. 41-26. 15-point lead for the Mustangs with about 15 minutes to play in the second half. That free throw falls a little bit short. Second team foul on the Huskies. That one goes on Ulick, number 24. Rebound on the free throw goes to the Mustangs. Good ball movement there. Swings it up. I don't think that's where Entz was looking, but it gets all the way out to Xander Newton, and Trent Freeze sets it back up. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Xander Newton looks to the interior. That's Entz, and over to Berg. Little pick and roll here. Berg has a nice little move behind the back, but nothing going. And he ends up with a deep three. Doesn't catch any iron there, and that'll be the end of the shot clock. So that'll get turned over to the Huskies. Coach, a couple of good things in that sequence, but unable to get a shot that they're probably proud of.
Yeah, Coach Brand doesn't look very enthused about what he saw or impressed by it. I think a little flat coming out of the halftime for the Mustangs here, and give credit to Wahpeton. They're working hard and not giving in, making Cheyenne earn everything that they're going to get in terms of looks at the basket.
So that'll bring in Matson at the top of the key for the Mustangs. He's number 22. I see Gooslaw popped in now. Dylan Bile, who's been playing excellent C-Squad basketball, into the game. Dudenheffer underneath, he's number 12. And Entz remains the fourth option, or the fifth option there for the Mustangs. So out on the perimeter, good move there by the Mustangs. He gets all the way to the hoop. That's number 20.
I think that's Jacob DeVries. Excellent drive to the basket and cashing in on that one.
Active defense there by the Huskies. Feeling good about that offensive sequence now, coming with a little bit of energy on the defensive side. Dylan Bile will take it on the sideline, and he'll bring it back into Matson. Dudenheffer now with it. And that is stolen on the cross-court pass. Dudenheffer not able to stop the Husky on his way to the hoop. Bucket there by Schaefer. Dudenheffer with it. Nothing in there in the inside for Gooslaw. Good move into the interior for Dudenheffer, but he's not able to connect at the rim. Fortunate to stay in possession of the Mustangs. 13-18 to go in the second half, an 11-point lead now. Good little screen action for Matson up top. That one catches too much iron.
I think that's the shot they were looking for. Just unable to cash in on that one. And Wahpeton's going to continue to look here. A miss by DeVries and pulled down by Gooslaw, and then DeVries should have just let it go and commits a foul on Gooslaw.
I think that foul ends up being on number 21 for the Huskies. Snuck over there and grabbed Gooslaw as he was grabbing the rebound. So it's actually going to stay in the possession of the Mustangs. So we're going to move it around in the perimeter. Having a hard time finding the weakness in this zone right now. Swings it back over to Bile. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bile's open for three, and he's able to connect.
Good patience by Cheyenne on that sequence. Kept moving the ball until they had an opportunity.
So with that, the Huskies will take a full timeout. 14-point lead, 12:26 to go in the second half of the JV game. Timeout. So on wild card weekend, with 12:26 to go in the first half, Bile comes out after scoring 31 points in the C Squad game. Bile hits his first 3 of the JV game. Coach, wild card weekend, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
The team with the most points? Does that work?
Well, that would make sense, but I think the Vikings defense is out. So with that, 12:20 to go in the second half here. Great cut off the timeout, but a spectacular defensive play by Matson on the block. Drawn up well out of the timeout by the Huskies. Just a better defensive play by Matson. See if there was anything during the timeout that Coach Tim Prant was able to identify. But it looks like the Mustangs are coming out running a different offensive sequence here.
I think
the Huskies are actually in a man.
Yeah, I think Wahpeton changed things up on Coach Brand. He may have been working on something specifically against that zone, but then Wahpeton changed things up on it.
Gooslaw there with the hoop and the harm. He ends up battling down low for a couple of rebounds. You saw him grab the basketball and throw it through the hoop there, and his shoulders kind of come down and like a, thank God, I finally got that one to finish after fighting so hard to get that board. Misses on the free throw. Swings over to Matson, then it's back to Gooslaw for 3. On that three-pointer, he had a couple of teammates from the bench yelling Goose, hoping that that one was going to drop for the big man. Bile to take it out here. And that's into Entz. Up top to Matson. He looks to attack, but thinks better of it and has Brady Dutenheffer set it up. Good seal there by Matson, but they weren't able to catch him on the post entry quick enough, so they'll reset. Back to Bile up top. He'll continue to shoot. And they're going to say Gooslaw was a little too physical trying to go grab that rebound. You know, that's probably one of those fouls that Coach Tim Brandt looks at and says, I'm going to let my guy fight his way through that.
I think absolutely. He can be upset with that kind of effort from Gooslaw on that, taking on 2 Huskies and draws the foul, but I think most coaches are going to be happy with that type of effort on the offensive rebound.
So with 11:17 to go, this will be a Cheyenne timeout. We'll take a very, very short break. Actually, this is going to be a 30-second, so we'll just stay here. Coach, we have a varsity game coming up here. Tell us a little bit about the turnaround time and how that might affect Cheyenne, having played just about 12 hours ago in the same building.
I think that's probably one of the unknowns. Probably what we talked about last night, the fact that Coach Kirchhoffner has been running with some multiple sets and getting 9, 10, 11 players into the game. Maybe he was thinking about that short turnaround for today. Wouldn't be shocked to see team to come out a little flat at the beginning, but they're high school kids. I think they've been through tournaments, whether it's through AAU or high school, and they're used to that short turnaround time and just being ready to play after a 12-hour layoff.
Nice attack there by number 21 for the Huskies. That's Fleefet. He played a great game in the C squad, was able to get to the line doing the exact same thing. He was Johnny on the spot right there and was able to attack the interior of the lane and get to the free throw line. Misses on the first. And the second one gives him an unfriendly rattle, and that'll fall in the hands of the Mustangs. Dutenheffer looks to the inside. And Bile's pass, a little errant there. Sails over the head of Dutenheffer. Not sure what they were looking for there, but
Dutenheffer and Matson both looked at each other like, was that to you or was that to me? And it sails wide and out of bounds. We'll see if Wahpeton can draw something up here. They've gone cold in the last couple of minutes, and I think they're looking for an opportunity to get some points and get something going offensively, because this is starting to kind of slip away from them.
So with a 16-point lead here, that's the 5th team foul on the Mustangs. That foul was called on number 12, Dutenheffer. That's his first. good down screen there that gives a little bit of action. That's a deep two-point jumper there. Kellen Entz with the long board. He takes it coast to coast, tries to get all the way to the rim. He's fouled at the rim, not able to convert on his layup, so he'll be shooting 2. So Kellen Entz converts on that free throw. Of course, Kellen Entz's dad is Matt Entz. I saw him in the bleachers a little bit ago. Today is Wild Card weekend. Interestingly enough, Matt Entz, this is probably the first time this Saturday has not been a busy one for him, because this is normally when they play the national championship game. So getting an opportunity to watch both of his boys play. His son played in the C Squad game, now his other son playing in the JV game. And he doesn't even have to go down to Frisco, Texas this year. Probably a little bit of bittersweet in that opportunity. Couple of substitutions for the Mustangs. Trent Free and Lobo in. Xander Newton as well as Evan Berg. Dudenheffer does stay in. Good backdoor cut. Great feed from Xander Newton. Good recognition there. Good recognition, I think, by Dudenheffer to recognize nothing was there and swings that out for the three-point look. Doesn't convert, but overall, pretty good offensive sequence. On the other end, just a spectacular left-handed move by number 33 for the Huskies. I believe that's Jaden King. He's a freshman. Berg will set it up. Hit Xander Newton at the top of the key. Lobo looks to post up, and Evan Berg, with the shot clock winding down, has a nice drive with the ball.
Lost the handle on the ball and commits a turnover there, but he was going to get to the rim and have a very good look at. He not lost the grip there.
One thing you will notice, Coach, in this game, and we've talked about it before, but certainly the Cheyenne Mustangs lead the league in hair. You will not see a team with more headbands and longer hair than the Cheyenne Mustangs. I'm not sure if any of these kids recognize that the barber shops are now open, that COVID has not closed them up anymore, but there's a lot of floppy hair, isn't there, Coach?
The COVID restrictions have been lifted. They are allowed to go see someone to get that haircut, but maybe Coach Krzyzewski was able to swing a headband and or hair product sponsorship for the year. We'll have to check on that later.
Speaking of floppy hair, that one was Dudenheffer, and he was able to convert on the three-pointer. The Huskies come back with it, so as long as their hair is, Coach, this Mustangs team sure can shoot, so keeping that hair out of their eyes apparently seems to be working. Over to Free.
A little too low for him to handle on that pass to the wing. Mustangs working on a little 10-2 run right now, and I think Coach Brandt would like to see them maybe slam the door on this one here in the next couple of minutes if possible.
Huskies rotate the basketball around, ends up at the top of the key. That's Ulick that had it at the top, and now to number 40. Foul called. Foul on number 12. That is his second. Bridger Hansen, I believe, is the foul call. Excuse me, that's Hawkert. Bridger plays varsity. Wahpeton does look like a good screening team. They're doing a nice job moving that basketball around, setting good down picks, able to to get to the rim a little bit and forcing the Mustangs to commit some of those hip check fouls.
Yeah, it was good patience on that sequence by Wahpeton, moving the ball around and trying to utilize, even though they're giving up that size, they do have some quick guards, and getting to the line here is going to be number 30. Am I seeing that correctly,
I believe that's Jackson
Coach?
Cluton. Yep.
Okay.
Jackson Cluton is the son of Ned Cluton, the principal at Wahpeton High School. Western North Dakota trivia for you. Ned Cluton and I once won a talent show doing a lip sync combination that, quite frankly, I'm glad there's no videotape footage of. Download a Lobo.
Care to reveal the song? Was it a kid and play combination, or what song did you go with?
You know, that was back in the day where we had to actually splice everything up on a cassette tape to make a combination of a bunch of different songs. So I'm going to let Ned and I keep that secret. So this one goes out to Dutton Heifer all the way down, and he's able to convert. Xander Newton in the front of the iron there was kind of hoping maybe that it would sneak off. He wanted to hammer that one home, but Dutton Heifer gets two. 55-34, 21-point lead now for the Mustangs with 6:51 to go in the second half. Attack there by number 24, Ulick. And this looks like a little bit of a hockey exchange that we have going on right now. 4 in for the Mustangs and I think 3 for the Huskies. So 7 new players occupying the floor right now. Ulick to shoot.
And with 7 new bodies on the floor, a little uncertainty on what the situation was. That was the front end of the bonus. Looked like both teams were content to go back down to the other end of the floor, but wasn't the case. Wahpeton makes both ends of the bonus, and a quick timeout here as the Mustangs continue to lead the Huskies 55-36 with 6:47 to go.
You're watching Cheyenne Mustang Media.
Welcome back to Cheyenne High School. 6:47 to go in the second half. Mustangs up 19 right now in JV action. Dylan Bile will take it in for the Mustangs. And he'll get the ball into the backcourt to Matson here when play resumes. Also in for the Mustangs, we have Lobo and Gusla. Matson to set up the offense. Into the elbow. That's Entz. Takes a nice, good dribble attack. Almost able to finish at the rim there.
I think Coach Brandt had drawn up a specific play there. They were looking to get a little backdoor cut and backdoor action and weren't able to pull it off, but end up with an opportunity for Entz to cash in at the free throw line.
And that rattles home. Matson able to stop momentarily and meets the Huskies offensive player at the top, able to block that basketball. Lobo comes back with it. A little bit wild on that high dribble. Ball goes out of bounds. Huskies able to find a nice way to get to the rim there, but that's Lobo. Lobo does have the kind of vertical that jumps him out of the gym. I think preseason Lobo was right around that 34-inch vertical mark, so he's definitely able to sky, and he's able to get the offensive rebound there and put it back in.
It's a great problem for the program at Cheyenne to have, having that type of athleticism, really from your senior leaders like Leak and Moni, going on the way down to your sophomores that have that type of leaping ability and that type of athleticism. That's got to be great for a coach to know that you aren't going to get out-muscled, outsized, jumped in many contests that you're going to play.
So as the shot clock was expiring, the Huskies were able to get the shot off, but it does not go through. Unfortunately, that's a hard foul there on the hip. Both players do hop up. Good drive there by Lobo, but foul committed by number 21 for the Huskies. That's going to put Lobo to the line shooting 2. 5:03 to go in the second half. First free throw off the front iron. The second. He's able to connect. 5 minutes to go in the second half now. Huskies looking to execute an offensive set. Derek Lobo looks to jump the pass, and it goes out in front to Lobo, who for a moment was ready to hammer it down, but he never did secure that basketball. He is able to convert on the layup, and he is chuckling on his way back. And because he jogs back, the Huskies are able to get a free man down low, and they make the layup. 62-38. Bile out with it on the wing now. Pick and roll for Entz. This is a pick and roll for Gooslaw. Lobo with a great attack to the rim, using his right hand. That's a layup you didn't used to see back in the day. Coaches would always say, make sure you use the same, the off-rim hand in order to get that one at the rim. Now these guys are recognizing you can turn your body and finish with your strong hand with a little flip backwards layup, and that's what Lobo did there. That's a good execution on his part.
Great body control, and he scored the last 6 points here for the Mustangs just by using that quickness and that athleticism and jumping ability that we talked about.
Not sure what the call was there in that situation, but it is handed over to the Mustangs. 4 minutes to play now, 64-38. Ball out of bounds. Lobo looks into the corner for Gooslaw. That one goes a little bit off the back. Matson tries to tip it out to Bile, but it ends up getting out of bounds.
A little too strong, ends up rolling out. Wahpeton going back to the zone on that one. I think little chess match going on with both coaches here, trying to switch things up, trying to confuse the opponent and see if you can't take advantage of that.
Travel call. In NFL action, Buffalo is able to sneak past Indianapolis 27-24. Currently, Seattle and the Rams are locked in at 3. Later tonight, Tampa Bay plays Washington. Pretty busy weekend in terms of the NFL. I'm sure many of these boys will, after this game, will be going home and setting their fantasy lineups. So with 3:12 to go, 64-38 in favor of the Mustangs. Lobo to the free throw line. That one's a little bit short. Huskies work it around into the corner. Back cut action. Nothing going, tipped away. Gooslaw secures it. Up ahead to Lobo, who tries to drop a pass into Bile, but that doesn't work. Knocked free for a moment there by Matson. Good defense by Lobo, able to get his hand up high without committing the foul, and Dudenheffer brings it back up. I think at this point, with 2:20 to go in the second half, Mustangs well in front at this point. Tim Brandt is comfortable letting his offense run through the shot clock and execute. That opportunity there gets Bile up the baseline, and he'll be shooting two as he attacks the hoop. First one goes long. And the second one drops for Bile. So with 2:10 to go, the game action has slowed just a bit here. You can tell both teams are doing their best to make sure that the ball doesn't get too sloppy. Bile looks up ahead. Gooslaw, I think, is going to get caught with a walk. The ball was bouncing out between him and Bile. Gooslaw picks it up and takes one too many steps. Top of the key for the Huskies. Good post entry. And a nice little left-handed finish there. That's number 33 for the Huskies.
It's Jaden King. He's only a freshman. He's had a couple of nice little moves at the basket. Not knowing ahead of time, I wonder if he isn't a lefty, but probably a little promise there for the Wahpeton Husky basketball program.
Just over a minute to play in the game. 27-point lead for the Mustangs. Little crossover dribble, but Brady Dudenheffer is able to recover from that. Good curl screen up at the top. It's probably the look they were trying to get, but the shot just sails a little bit wide. Mustangs come back with it. Bile grabs the basketball, gives it back to Lobo. Over to Matson, who will calmly execute with 13 seconds to go on the shot clock. Lobo looks into the interior for Gooslaw. It's not there. Lobo takes a deep one. And that's Gooslaw with an offensive rebound and a putback. With 15 seconds to go in the game, Wahpeton probably with one opportunity left. And that one's stolen by Matson, so I think with 10 seconds to go, he will simply dribble this up, and that'll do it. So, with 3, 2, 1, that's the end of the JV game, Coach.
Another good effort, remaining undefeated for Cheyenne. Tim Brandt's got to be happy with that one.
So 69-40, 29-point victory. Brandt's team remains undefeated in the EDC. So with that, we'll try to get a recap of the stats before we head to the varsity game. So until that time, this is Mustang Media. We'll give you a fill-in on the stats as we report to the varsity game. So stay tuned.